Hey guys, what's up? Nick Ortiz. I'm here with Miles, blue belt at Henzo's, obviously much bigger than I, and I've gotten a couple of questions on the kipping escape in terms of just what happens when they have a crossface. Can you do it if somebody's bigger than you? What does that look like? I'll show two methods. The overhead kipping escape, what frame arm I like to use. There's different hand configurations. I like using a cross frame or a cross hip frame to get my opponents in the overhead kip escape. And then when that doesn't work, I like using a pendulum method, going side to side, still displacing body weight. Let's just say, just to understand why the crossface arm is so important and why it's important to get inside position of your head on their chest. Let's say if Miles is flat on the mat. If I asked Miles to round out his shoulders while there's a wedge, my hand underneath his chin, when Miles tries to round out his shoulders, he can't because I'm controlling the end of the lever of the spine, which is his head. If there wasn't any wedge underneath his chin, he could round out his spine, round out his shoulders, he could take his shoulders up off the mat. That's why when my hand mimics that of a crossface, if I'm here and Miles tries to concave the spine, he can't, therefore he can't kip. So, if Miles has me in the mounted position, ankles crossed, mounted, and he has his shoulder underneath my chin, and I start to kip here, I'll never get Miles off. This sucks. This is terrible. So first things first, we have to deal with the crossface. Take your right arm or left arm, depending on where the crossface is, hand underneath the armpit, heels to butt, slight bridge, and get your head to the inside position of their chest. Now I tuck my chin, so when Miles tries to get another crossface, he's not working at the end of the lever. He can still get around my head, but it's not as bad as what it once was. He's not underneath my chin. Now I'll take my right hand again, I'll flatten my hand so it's a blade, and I'll go through until I'm cutting across the hip line like so. Now Miles is on top of me, he's bearing all of his weight. I can concave my spine, and what the goal is again, rounded spine, like the bottom of a rocking chair, and we're trying to get our elbows in line with our knees as we do this. So from here, I bring knees and elbows together. I'm gonna bring my knees towards my chest as I'm foot over foot, rounding out my spine. And from here, the goal is to get your knees and elbows together. Once I'm here in this position, I have inside position to work with. Miles is no longer on top of me, and because I've displaced his body weight, I'm in a good position to start attacking. The second method, if I can't overhead kip escape, and we're here and somebody's heavy and on top of us, again, inside position, bridge, like so. He's nice and tight and everything, he's on top of me. I'm gonna have my two hands here on his hips, and I'm gonna use the pendulum method. From here, I go from one side to the other, again, foot to foot, I straighten out my legs, and what I'm trying to do is get Miles from one knee to another, until finally, I've displaced his weight enough to get him, or rather all of his weight to one side. I feel confident in kipping in that position. I have inside position, I'm free from that. That rough spot of being underneath somebody who's much heavier than you. So again, displaced body weight, really understand the idea of concaving your spine. You want to make sure that if they have a wedge underneath your chin, that's the first thing we deal with. That's the first problem, because if we can't round out our spine, we can't kip. And then from there, once you get that inside position, we either pendulum or overhead kipping escape. And again, the goal is always, once we're rounded out, I kip until my knees and elbows are connected. By that point, your opponent should be overhead or on one knee. You get inside position, and you're in a great spot to start going back on the attack. So hopefully that helps, and thank you for watching.